Let me know when you're ready. Hey everybody, today we're going to sit there and work on shrinking the Max Carbon and the Max Ceramic. Some people are talking about it's a little difficult on harder back windows. Kind of got a pre-start on this one already for you. I'm using baby powder today. I like how it allows the material to float a little bit more. I know a lot of you like dryer sheets or soap. Use the preferred method you want. Today I'm using a Fusion heat gun. Normally we like using a Porter cable or Wagner, whatever, Milwaukee, whatever you have. Fusion does great. It's not a concentrated heat like a lot of other heat guns, so it spreads it out. It'll be a little bit slow moving, and I apologize, this is really loud. On the back glass, I set up in 4 quadrants, so I've locked the middle. Instead of making a traditional H pattern, we add one more in the vertical just to help lock this down. And for reference, this is a 21-911 Targa. So I'm just going to work kind of my middle of my stripe and working up and working slow. When the material starts to move, I'll just move along these areas of what's shrinking. I'm going to let the heat and the airspeed do all the working for me. And it's forgiving, it's just not going to move as fast if you're used to this, the MJP, the CP, the XP, XPP, any of the other products. The Max Carbon and the Max Ceramics move just a little bit slower, so they're going to take a little more heat, but they will go. They're still just as forgiving. So I'm just going to keep that fan speed moving this film. I'm going to keep just trying to evenly heat it and spread it out and allow it to move. When you get to the top, you can always straighten up a little bit. Some guys like to cap it off and blow some hot air in underneath, and whichever method you feel works best. These tight corners, I like to kind of spread them out and let them float over the baby powder. I feel it's easier to shrink than dryer sheets or soap that holds it in place so tight. If it wants to, spread out a little bit, I've locked my sides. This is much like the C7 Corvette back glass, not as extreme in the curve. But unfortunately, like the C7, you don't have dots to run into on this 911 here. This last little bit, I'll spread a little heat from the top and try to meet where I'm at to make it a little easier. Like I say, this Fusion heat gun heats a lot differently than the traditional ones that you're going to buy at your hardware store or your detail paint shops. And I'm a good, 3 inches past my last viewable is right here, but I'm always going to shrink just a little bit more to give me some room just to make sure. At this point, I'm just going to repeat this process 3 more times to finish up the whole back glass, and then I'm going to do a wet check on it. And then at that point, if I have anything left to shrink out, that's when we can address that and cut it and fit. Here again, I'm just going to try to keep that material straight and let it go straight up and down and spread it out just so it can handle the extreme curve of this back glass. If you are using a glove, baby powder, you can get yourself in trouble sometimes if you wipe further than you've already shrinked and compressing them. Sometimes we'll see guys that'll get themselves in a little bit of a tight spot there. And then the same thing on the bottom, back windows, we've got an extra inch and a half of material to shrink out, just to give us some room in case I do get into trouble. But that's all we've got to do on this material is just keep it moving, keep the heat from being so concentrated, and don't be afraid to move and spread it out. If you get a little work mark in it, it's forgiven, it'll come out. Sometimes you'll need to pick it back up, keep the back side, relax it a little bit, and you can go back to shrinking.
Good.